Hi friends, welcome to practice. Today we've got a fun flow class in which we focus on opening the shoulders and the upper back. We'll be doing a good amount of stuff on the forearms, working towards forearm stand, Pincha Mayurasana. Have a couple of blocks for class, and we're going to get started in Virasana today on at least one block. So come to sit up onto your shins. You'll place the block the wide way in between your heels with your big toes extended straight back. If one block doesn't do the job, you can of course sit up onto two blocks. You do want to make sure your thighs are parallel, not Ving out. And if this is just no good for your knees, Virasana, you could take a cross-legged seat on at least one block. So find your comfortable seat. You might rest a hand on the belly, a hand on the center of the chest if that's comfortable, or any other arm variation. Sit up nice and tall, lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back, and then allow the eyes to soften or to close as you settle in. Take a moment just to feel your sit bones root into the ground. The torso lift up and out of your legs. Invite a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it go with an exhale or a sigh. And now begin to find a steady breath in and out of the nose here. Every exhale, press down into your seat. Feel this sense of grounding through the lower body. Every inhale, sit up a little taller. Feel the chest rise, the belly expand. A sense of opening as you breathe in. As you inhale, feel the belly expand as the breath moves downward. Exhale, draw the belly back in towards center. And just take about 2 to 3 more cycles of breath here. Using the breath to anchor your attention. Finding steadiness in the breath. A little more steadiness in the thoughts before we invite the movement back in. And then with your next inhale, allow your eyes to softly flutter open and bring your arms out wide to a T. Turn your palms up to face the ceiling so that the fronts of your shoulders draw back. You're in external rotation of the shoulders. Bend your elbows, bring your fingertips to your shoulders, and then right away, notice if your ribs are flaring out. They'll want to soften your front ribs down and in towards the frontal hip bones. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, twist to your right. Arms stay as they are. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Keep going on your own, at your own pace. And notice a couple of things. Notice if the ribs are flaring out. Try to find that lift in the low belly. Notice if your chin, your neck is getting ahead of you when you twist. Try to keep the chin in the center of the chest. And you could keep going at this pace if this feels good, or start to go a little bit faster. So inhale, center, exhale, twist. Maybe a little pumping of the breath, bringing some warmth into the body. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Come through center. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders up and back a couple of times. All right. And then come off whatever you're sitting on and make your way into a tabletop position on hands and knees. Shoulders over the wrist, hips directly over the knees. Let's take some cat-cows as you inhale. Arch your spine, draw the heart forward and up. Exhale, reverse, round the spine. Inhale, arch, curl your tailbone up towards the ceiling, open the front body. Exhale, round, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, open the back body. Again, inhale and exhale. One more full round like that. And the next time you come to that inhale position where you're arching your spine, cow pose, pause here. Press your shoulder blades into the chest, broadening across the collarbones, and now keep this nice opening in the upper back, but lose the back bend in the lower body. Lift the pubic bone up and in towards the navel. That creates a lift in the low belly. Also, if you're doing a lot of the work with your neck, drop the gaze slightly back of the neck long. Walk your hands forward a big 2 to 3 inches. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, wrist creases parallel to the top edge of your mat. Tuck your toes under, push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Glance back at your feet, make sure they're about hip width apart with your inner heels hidden behind you. If you feel the low back rounding, take a little bend in the knees so you can send your hips higher. Trying to create this beautiful long line from the fingers to the shoulders to the hips. So it doesn't matter how straight your legs are, but let's find some length in the spine. Press into your thumb and index finger, your inner hand. Keep that rooted as you spin the inner arms forward and squeeze the outer upper arms back and in. Take a deep breath in here. And a full breath out. Inhale, raise your right leg up. As you exhale, bend your knee, open up the hip. Let your right inner knee lift towards the sky as you squeeze your left hip back in space. Straighten the legs, square off the hips, take an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Step your right foot forward, toes in line with fingers. Drop your back knee to the mat. Reach your arms up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, bend the front knee a little bit more. Ground through your right heel, lift the front hip off your thigh. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend your elbows out to the side, make a little cactus shape with your arms. Interlace your fingers behind the low back. As you inhale, press the knuckles up and back any amount, doesn't matter how much, so we never force. Stay to exhale, soften the front ribs down towards the frontal hip bones. Can we find the opening in the upper back without relying on the low back? And now keep the interlace, tuck your back toes under. Start to shift the hips back until your left hip stacks over the left knee. Slide or fling the right foot forward depending on the stickiness of your mat and flex your toes towards your face, half splits. You could keep the interlace if you're like, I don't want it, it's too much. Bring your hands down under shoulders to blocks or the ground. So left hip over the left knee, flex your toes towards your face. Rather than rounding your spine, inhale, send the heart forward and up like you're doing a back bend. Stay to exhale. One more breath in. Release your left hand to the mat. Slide the right foot back, rebend the knee, float your back knee off the mat, runner's lunge, twist, sweep your right arm forward and up. Bend the front leg deeply as you push your left thigh up towards the ceiling. Use your inhales to get longer from the crown of your head to your back foot. Use your exhales to twist, spin your top ribs back, bottom ribs forward. One more inhale, swim that right arm up and over your ear. Place your hand on the mat. Pause on fingertips, hands can also come to blocks here. Take an inhale. Back heel stays high, exhale, straighten the front leg. It's a modified pyramid pose. Let's pulse through that. Inhale, bend the front knee, drop the hips, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten and fold. One more time, inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten and stay. Press into the right big toe mound, the ball of the foot. Squeeze your right hip back and in towards your left heel. So if there were headlights on your frontal hip bones, they'd be shining forward, not to the left. One more breath, lengthen your spine. Rebend the front knee, plant your hands and step to your plank pose. From your plank, lower your right forearm to the mat, left forearm to the mat, plank on the forearms. Catch your hip shoulder height. Plug into the ground with your big toe mounds. Lift the pubic bone up towards the navel and lengthen the tailbone to the heels. And now without piking your hips up at all, inhale, rock forward onto your tippy toes. Shoulders will come a little past the elbows. And then exhale, go back. So try not to pike your hips. Inhale, rock forward, tippy toes. Exhale, go back. Push the floor away from you. Try not to sink through your shoulders. One more time. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, go back. Stay as you breathe in. Exhale, lower to the belly. Point your toes. Reach your arms back by your sides, palms down. Press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift your head, your chest, your shoulders. Locust pose. Feet are down, press into every toenail, even the pinky toenails, but lift the kneecaps, engage the quadriceps. Roll the fronts of the shoulders away from the floor. Feel the shoulder blades press into the chest. Take another deep breath in. Keep your chest up, place your hands by your low ribs, elbows over wrist. Inhale, upward facing dog. Full breath in, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and deep breath out. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Bend your knee, open up the hip. Try pressing into that left hand a little more. And now straighten the legs, square off the hips, take an inhale. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step your left foot forward, get toes in line with fingers. Drop your back knee to the mat. Rise up to your low lunge. Ground through your front heel as you bend the front knee. Let your hips come forward in space, but lift your frontal hip bones up towards the front ribs. Take a breath in. Exhale, cactus your elbows out to the side. Interlace fingers behind the low back, opposite thumb on top. Begin to press your knuckles up and back any amount. Notice, are the ribs flaring out? Soften the front ribs down towards the frontal hip bones. Notice, is the head jutting forward? Keep the crown of the head over the chest. And now tuck your back toes under. Shift your hips back until the right hip is over the right knee. Slide your left foot forward, straighten the leg, half splits with the interlace, or feel free to bring hands down. Flex your left toes towards your face. Now send your heart forward and up. Get longer from the crown of your head to your hips. Lift the front ribs, the low belly away from the floor. One more breath. Place the right hand down, slide the left foot back, rebend the knee, float the back knee off the mat, twist, reach your left arm forward and up. Bend the front leg as you push the right thigh up. Send your heart forward and push the right heel back. And now can you spin your top ribs back, find the twist in the upper back. One more inhale, swim that top arm up and over your ear. Exhale, left hand down, pause on fingertips or hands on blocks, take an inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg, modified pyramid pose. Two more times, inhale, bend the front knee, drop the hips, lift the heart like you're doing a back bend. Exhale, straighten. Final time, inhale. Exhale, straighten, and now keep your legs as they are for a few breaths. Spin the right inner thigh straight back. That'll bring your outer hip forward. So we're lengthening this left hip back in space. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. Rebend the front knee, plant your hands, and step to your plank pose. Lower the left forearm to the mat. Right forearm to the mat, plank on the forearms, elbows right under the shoulders, no wider. Hips are shoulder height, not higher in a pike, not lower. And now trying to stay in this straight line, inhale, rock forward, tippy toes. Exhale, shift back. Again, you got this. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, push back. Keep pushing the floor away from you. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Stay as you breathe in. Exhale to the belly. Point your toes. Slide your arms back, palms down. Press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift your head, your chest, your shoulders. Drop the gaze slightly so the back of the neck is long. So a lot of what we're working on today is using our back muscles to create space in the upper body without relying on the neck or the low back. Lengthen your tailbone to your heels as you spin your inner thighs up. Take another inhale. Keep your chest up. Place your hands by your low ribs. Inhale, come to upward facing dog. Lift your thighs. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. One more inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands. You could step, hop, you could tiptoe. Reach your chest forward at the top. And exhale, folds. Come all the way to stand, raise your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastihiti. Rest your arms down by your sides. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Let's do a couple sunays. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, rock forward, heart forward. Plant your hands beside your feet. Step your left leg back. Right leg back, plank pose. Full breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Come back to that steady breath in and out of your nose. Root down through every knuckle, every fingertip to send your hips high up towards the ceiling behind you. As you press your chest towards your thighs, soften the front ribs in, and also bring some pressure to your fingertips. Take one more inhale here, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet to your hands, step, hop, float. Reach your chest forward at the top. Exhale, folds. Come all the way to stand, inhale, rise. And exhale, release arms by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold, hinging at the hips, maybe a little bend in the knees. Inhale, heart forward. Plant your hands beside your feet. Step the right leg back, left leg back, plank. Full breath in. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. And as always, if that vinyasa doesn't make sense for you, take the vinyasa that does. Maybe it's lowering to the belly instead of halfway. Maybe it's taking a back bend such as locust or baby cobra on the belly instead of up dog. Maybe it's taking cat-cows. So the yoga is listening. What does my body need today? Not just what do I do habitually when I'm not paying attention. Relax the head and neck. The eyes, the jaw. Take a deep breath in. Stay as you breathe out. One more inhale here. End of your exhale, feet to your hands. Reach your chest forward at the top. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, sweep your arms up. And exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Let's do one more Sane. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rock forward, heart forward. Keep your heart forward as you step to plank or hop to bend elbows, chaturanga. Come through your vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, however it makes sense for you to get there. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it go out of the mouth. Inhale, raise your right leg up. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose and step forward. Get your toes in line with your fingers. You might cheat it to the right so you're not on a tightrope. Bend the front knee deeply as you push your left thigh up. Now, option to stay here with hands on blocks or the ground, but keep your chest low. If you'd like, bring hands to heart center. Or reach your arms forward, palms face each other. We're in a diagonal lunge, either way what we do with our arms. Root down through the front heel, wrap your right hip back and in towards the left and push the left thigh up. Get longer from the crown of your head to your back heel, another inhale. As you exhale, come all the way up to a high lunge. Take a little bend in your back knee. Ground through the front heel to lift the pubic bone up towards the navel. Drop the tailbone heavily, right? Lengthening the low back. Take an inhale. Exhale, cactus your elbows. Interlace fingers behind the low back. Press your knuckles up and back any amount. Keep bending the front knee. Make your back leg a little straighter. Take one more breath. Keep the front ribs moving in. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to your plank. Lower your right forearm to the mat. Left forearm to the mat, this time interlace fingers. Elbows no wider than shoulder width apart. I'm in dolphin. So hips high, press your chest to your thighs. You might walk your feet a little closer into your elbows. You might not. You might bend your knees. Press into your forearms and now push the floor away from you. Lift out of your shoulders. Press your chest to your thighs. And now as you inhale, come high on your tippy toes. Can you rock forward, stack shoulders over elbows? Exhale, rock back. Again, inhale, rock forward, shoulders over elbows. Push the floor away from you. Exhale, back. One final time. Inhale, come high on the toes, get shoulders over the elbows. Exhale, rock back, take a breath in. Drop to your knees, point your toes. Child's pose. Rest your arms back by your sides. Give the shoulders a little break. If you'd rather sit up onto your shins, do so. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale fully. And then inhale. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your left leg up. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose and step forward. Get your toes in line with your fingers. Make sure you're heel to heel or wider. Bend the front knee deeply as you push your right thigh up. Hands could stay down on blocks or the ground. You could bring hands to heart center or reach them forward, palms face in, but keep the chest low. Hover over the front thigh. Root down through your front heel, squeeze the left hip back and in. That'll keep the front knee over the second toe. Push the right thigh up. Stay for another breath. Inhale, rise up to a high lunge. Start with a little bend in the back knee. Root down through the front heel. Lift your pubic bone all the way up towards the navel. That's going to lengthen the low back. Take an inhale. Exhale, cactus your elbows. Interlace fingers behind the low back. Opposite thumb on top. Press your knuckles up and back. Now, can you keep your chest over your hips? Oftentimes we lean forward, ground through the front heel, chest over hips. Lift the low belly. One more breath, push the right thigh back. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to your plank. Lower the left forearm, right forearm, interlace fingers, dolphin. Send your hips up, press your chest to your thighs. Elbows no wider than shoulder width apart. Now, maybe you walk your feet in a little bit. Maybe you bend your knees. I like to be a little higher on the toes in dolphin. Root down through your outer wrist, your forearms, elbows, and now push the floor away from you. Lift out of your shoulders. Press the chest to the thighs. And now inhale. Come high on your toes. Rock forward. Can you stack shoulders over elbows? I know it's a lot. Exhale, rock back. You got this. Just 2 more times. Inhale, rock forward. Any amount. Doesn't matter how much. Exhale, go back. 1 final time. Inhale. Exhale. Stay as you breathe in. Exhale, drop to your knees. Point your toes. Child's pose with the arms back. Or sit up onto the shins. Come back to that smooth and steady breath. In and out of the nose. Feel that sense of grounding as you exhale. Of softening as you inhale. As you're ready, come back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose and open mouth, clearing breath. Let's do some more standing work. Similar but different. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. Step the right foot forward, get toes in line with fingers. Now we're coming towards warrior 3. So option 1, hands on blocks, highest height under the shoulders. Option 2, hands to heart center, chest stays low, or arms forward. Either way, chest stays low. Take a breath in, and now exhale, launch forward. Stand on the front leg, float your back leg off the mat. Take the arm variation that makes sense for you. Press into the right big toe mound. Spin the left outer hip down, more inner thigh up. I have a little bend in my right leg. Feel free to bend your knee. Take another inhale. Now everyone bend the standing leg and then step your left foot forward. Feet about hip width apart. Bend your knees, raise your arms, chair pose. Press your shins back at the weight in your heels and your hips. As you go down and back with the hips, lengthen the tailbone back. We're not rounding the spine. Lift the heart. One more inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Plant your hands, step your left leg back. Spin the back heel down and in. Be heel to heel or wider. I always take a wider stance. Rise up to warrior 1. Bend the front knee as you ground through the right heel. Press into your outer back foot and straighten the back knee by pushing the left thigh bone back. Feel that lift in the low belly. Take a breath in. Cactus your elbows. Interlace the fingers behind the low back. Puff up your chest as you breathe in. Humble warrior, dive forward and inside the front leg. You could send your knuckles up and over and humble. You could keep hands at low back. Focus on the legs. Do what makes sense for your shoulders. As you bend the front knee, hug the right hip in. It likes to swing out to the side. Don't let it. Push the left thigh back. Stay anchored through your feet and head. Relax the head. And now with your next inhale, rise up. Warrior one. Reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the mat. Come to the ball of your back foot and pause. Left hand down. Right arm up, twist. Start to turn all your toes to the right. Come to the pinky side of your back foot. Walk your right foot down the length of your mat until your foot is in line with your belly button. Lift the bottom hip. Open the chest. You could stay here or stack right foot on left foot, side plank. Take a deep breath in. Top hand down, meet me in a plank pose. From your plank, lower the right shin to the floor. Pivot your left heel down. Reach your right arm to the sky. Open your chest towards the long edge of the mat. Reach for the floor with your outer back foot. One more breath. Top hand down, step to your plank, come through your vinyasa. That might be coming straight to down dog. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, raise your left leg up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step your left foot forward, toes in line with fingers. Decide what arm variation you want for warrior three. Hands to blocks, highest height, heart center or forward. Keep your eyes on one spot. Inhale, launch forward, warrior three. So don't lock out the standing leg. A bend in the knee feels really nice. Press into the left big toe mount. Spin the right inner thigh up, outer hip down. Heart forward, one more breath. Bend your standing leg and then step the right foot forward. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Chair pose. Bend your knees, raise your arms. Go down and back with the hips. Up with your arms, but move the front ribs down and in. One more breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, heart forward. Plant your hands, step the right leg back. Spin the back heel down, be heel to heel or wider. Rise up, warrior one. Bend the front leg as you push the right thigh back. Lift the low belly, inhale here. Exhale, cactus. Interlace fingers behind the low back. Lift your heart as you breathe in. Humble as you breathe out. Relax the head and neck. Relax the jaw. As you bend the front knee, hug your left hip in towards the midline. Press into your outer back foot. Maybe you're able to lift your inner arch off the mat. Stay for a cycle of breath. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. One breath here. Exhale, hands to the mat. Come to the ball of your back foot. Right hand stays down, left arm up, twist. Now turn all your toes to the left. Walk your left foot down the long edge of your mat until it's more in line with the belly button. Come to the outer edge of your back foot. You could stay here for side plank or stack feet. Lift the bottom hip. Open the chest. Full breath in. Top hand down, plank pose. Lower the left knee and shin. Kickstand your left foot to the left. Spin the right heel down. Peel your right arm to the sky. Press down with your bottom hand. Reach for the floor with the pinky side of your foot. One more breath. Top hand down, step to your plank, vinyasa or straight to down dog. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. All right, final time through that flow. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Step the right foot forward, toes in line with fingers. One more warrior three. You decide the arm variation. Take a breath in. Exhale, launch forward, warrior three. Stand on the front leg, float your back foot off the mat. Get longer from the crown of your head to your back heel. Lift the low belly, take an inhale. This time as you exhale, can you stand all the way up on the right leg? Bring your left knee into your chest. Lift it as high as you can. Press down through the right foot, lift the low belly. Reach your arms up, straighten the left leg forward, but don't lean back for 5, 4, hello hip flexors, 3, 2, bend your standing leg, step your left leg back, warrior 1. Take one breath here, reach up, look up, maybe touch palms. And now straighten the front leg, turn your toes to the long edge of the mat, reach your arms out wide. Turn the right toes forward, spin the left heel back, line up your front heel with your back arch. Wrap your left arm behind you, take a half bind. Start to reach the right arm forward as your hips go back. Right hand to a block or lightly against the shin. Using a block as a reminder does not make you less of a person. I say that sarcastically, but I love the props. Support your body. Press into the right big toe mound. Wrap your right hip back and in towards the left heel. Notice if the back knee is bending, straighten the leg, push the thigh back. And now can you roll your left shoulder back? Keeping the half bind, turn your gaze towards the top of the mat. We're coming towards half moon with a half bind. Bend your front knee, walk the right hand forward, launch forward, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon with a half bind. Keep your eyes on one spot, that's half of it. Keep your attention in the right foot. Press into the entire right foot, this big toe mound, especially if you fall to the outer edge of the foot. Roll the left shoulder back, the left ribs back. If you would like, bend the top knee. Maybe try to reach for the foot or ankle. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not, doesn't matter. It's okay to fall or wobble. Get out of your comfort zone. Take another inhale. Release the top foot, bend the standing leg, warrior 2, step long and back. Take a moment, settle in, front knee over the ankle, over the second toe. Spread your arms out wide, soften your eyes, steady the breath. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, full breath in. Hands to the mat and pause, come to the ball of your back foot. Left hand down, right arm up, twist. Turn your toes to the right. Come to the outer edge of your back foot. Option to stay here. You could stack right foot on left foot. You could float your top foot. You could step your right foot behind you, take your flip dog or wild thing. Lift the hips, lift up and out of the bottom shoulder. One more breath. Top hand down, find a plank pose. Lower the right shin to the floor. Kickstand the right foot to the right, spin the left heel down, left arm reaches up. Reach for the floor with the pinky side of your foot. Press down with your bottom hand. Option to stay here or float the right knee off the floor. You could straighten the leg, take fallen triangle, full breath in, and then top hand down. Meet me in a plank, Vinyasa, whatever that means for you. Maybe it's a child's pose. Maybe it's straight to down dog. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Last side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Step your left foot forward, toes in line with fingers. Option to bring hands to blocks, heart center, or sweep them forward. Take an inhale, eyes on one spot. Warrior 3, stand on the front leg. Float your back foot off the mat. If there were flashlights on your frontal hip bones, would they be shining down or to the right? Spin them down, the right outer hip down. One more breath. Now stand up on the left leg. Bring the right knee to the chest. Root your left foot into the earth. Lift the low belly. Inhale, reach your arms up. Straighten the right leg, our favorite part. Do this with me. Full breath in. Bend the standing leg, step back, warrior 1. One breath here, reach up, look up, maybe touch palms. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Turn your toes to the long edge of the mat. Reach the right arm behind you, half bind. Rotate the left toes forward, spin the right heel back, left heel bisects back arch. Start to reach the left arm forward, not down, hips go back. Left hand to a block or lightly against the shin. Squeeze your left hip back and in towards the right heel to lengthen the left side of the waist. That's why it doesn't matter how high or low your left hand is. meaning it's not better to have your left hand lower, it's better to lengthen the spine. If you have shorter arms, long torso, then blocks are helpful. So much of this is dependent on the structure of your body. Now keep the right shoulder drawing back. Bend the front knee. Walk your left hand forward, maybe bringing a block with you. Half moon with a half bind. Eyes on one spot. Keep your attention in the left foot. Are you falling to the outer edge or the inner foot? Press into the middle, the big toe mound. Feel free to stay here or bend the top knee. Maybe find the foot or ankle. Maybe it's there. Maybe not today. Doesn't matter. Keep your breath steady. One more inhale, heart forward. Release the top foot if you have it. Bend the standing leg, warrior two. Step long and back. Take a moment, settle in, ground through the front heel, ground through the outer back heel. Soften your eyes, steady the breath. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior, tip up and back. Exhale, hands to the mat and pause. Come to the ball of your back foot. Right hand stays down, left arm up, twist. Turn all your toes to the left, adjust the left foot down the length of your mat. Option to stay here. If you want to stack feet, do so. If you want to hover the top foot. If you want to step your left foot behind you, take your flip dog, do so. Reach your top arm up and over your ear and flip dog, open the chest, full breath in. Top hand down, plank pose, full breath in. Exhale, lower the left knee. Kickstand your left foot to the left, pivot the right heel down, and reach your right arm to the sky. Push down with your bottom hand, lift out of the shoulder. Press into the floor with the pinky side of your foot, and then if you'd like, hover the left knee, even if it's for a microsecond. You could straighten the leg, take fallen triangle, open the hips, the heart, full breath in. Top hand down, step to your plank, Vinyasa or straight to downward facing. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a full breath out. Inhale here. Exhale, drop to your knees. Sit back on your heels for a moment or your shins. Curl your fingers in and start to roll out your wrist. We were on our hands quite a bit. Pause at center, go the other direction. Spread your fingers really wide and just flex and extend at the wrist. And then shake it out. All right, so I know we've done a lot of upper body. You might be feeling a little sore or tired in the shoulders. We are going to do dolphin pose 2 more times. Come to a tabletop and then lower your forearms to the mat. Make sure elbows are no wider than shoulder width apart. Press into your palms, your forearms, your elbows. Push the floor away from you. The tendency in dolphin is that we sink down, which is normal. It's a hard pose. We only have half an arm to push the floor away from us, but try your best to press down in order to lift up. Now we'll take a dolphin pose and you'll either hold for 5 breaths. I'll give an option to raise the right leg up, and then I'll give instructions to take a few hops towards Pincha Mayurasana. At that point, if you want to pause the video, try a few hops or go to the wall, feel free to do so. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift the hips, dolphin, chest to the thighs. So if you're able to walk your feet a little closer into your elbows, you might do so. You might bend your knees, especially if you do so in down dog. Bend your knees here too. Push the floor away from you, press the chest to the thighs. Option to hold or raise the right leg up. Lead from the inner thighs so your hips are facing down, not to the right. Now hold here and then come to child's pose if you'd like, or look a little forward, almost in between your wrist. Hop your left foot in a little bit, bend the left knee. You'll inhale, bend. Exhale, try a few hops, trying to get hips over the shoulders for Pincha Mayurasana. It might be a tiny hop. You might get a microsecond of balance. If you can hold split legs, work towards bringing your legs together. Direct the tailbone up Try to get out of the back bend. Easier said than done. And then slowly come out. Child's pose, or sit back on the shins. And then let that side go. Take a full breath in. Stay for the breath out. Keep the warmth in the body, the heat. Let's do one more dolphin. I like to think of the heat that we're building, of course, as physical heat, but also as discipline, in a way to practice doing really hard things. And right now, maybe you're like, I'm sore, I'm tired, but we can do it and still stay calm, not judge ourselves, not freak out. Those are things that are important, not this pose. Who cares if you can do forearm stand, but let's practice. Forearms down, push the floor away from you. Do this and try to have fun. Tuck your toes, lift the hips, press the chest to the thighs. Do not just rush into the pose. Set it up, adjust your feet, bend your knees, maybe come high on the toes. Root down in order to lift up. And then if you'd like, raise the left leg up. No pressure to though. Spin the left outer hip down. Make sure your left leg is straight. Do not bend it. If you want to hop, look a little forward. Don't look at the elbows, forward more. Inhale, bend the right knee. And exhale, try a few hops. Maybe it's just little hops to start, and that's totally fine. That's where I started. Try to get hips over shoulders. You have to go a little further forward than your mind tells you to. If you can do split legs, work towards bringing legs together. When you're ready, child's pose, or sit back on your heels. Take a full breath in through the nose, a gentle breath out. And now from here, swing your feet off to one side. If you're in child's pose, roll up. Grab one of your blocks and come to lay down on your back. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, feet about hip width apart. Lift your hips and slide the block the wide way on the lowest height underneath your sacrum. So supporting the hips, it's a little lower than the low back even. And now from here, bring the right knee into your chest. You could stay like this if you want to use your hands, maybe hands behind the right thigh or the shin. Draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. And if you'd like, start to walk the left foot forward, straightening the leg, any amount. So you can flex your toes towards your face. You can point and reach for the floor with the left big toe. Probably won't reach, but it might, you never know. Do what feels best for the body. And if you're feeling this in the low back, you might be rocking the pelvis too far forward, creating this big arch in the low back. Zip the pubic bone up towards the navel. That's going to lengthen the low back. If you'd like to raise the right leg up, straighten the leg any amount, do so. Maybe take some ankle circles. We did so much active work opening the front body today. So this is a nice, kind of more passive way to open the front body. Go in both directions with those ankle circles if you're taking. And then bend the right knee, place the right foot down, and place your left foot down. Bring your left knee into your chest. If you'd like to hold the thigh or shin, do so. And then extend the right leg forward if you would like, flexing the toes or pointing. Maybe try both. If anything that I've learned in yoga, it's that the smallest movement can make the biggest difference. Draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder as you press the right thigh bone down. Slightly lift the pubic bone up so you're lengthening the low back, not overarching. You could stay here or extend the left leg up. Leg doesn't have to be totally straight. Maybe you roll out the ankle a few times. Go in both directions. And now bend the left knee. Place the left foot down, and if you'd like to straighten the left leg just for a moment, having both the legs straight, do so. Bring your legs about as wide as your mat. Rest your arms by your sides, palms up. If you prefer to keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, take that variation. So it can be as passive as you like, but I find that I always slightly need to lengthen my tailbone forward, creating that slight lift of the frontal hip bones, just so I don't get that low back pain. And now relax your eyes, relax the jaw, soften the shoulders, let go of the gripping in your hands, and relax the legs and the feet. With your next inhale, walk your feet back in, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, ground through your heels, lift the hips, and slide the block out from underneath you. Slowly lower all the way down. Gently swish your knees left and right a little bit. I'm just massaging out the low back. And then come through center, bring your arms either out wide to a T or in a cactus shape with palms up. Cross the right knee over the left, crossing at the thighs. Lift the hips, move them off center to the right, and then drop the knees to the left. Your gaze could stay up or go over the right arm. Let the eyes soften or close. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Gentle exhale out. Using the exhales to soften as much as possible. After so much standing work, so much energy outward that we just put out, can you start to let the earth, the ground support you? Put in less effort. Come back through center. Uncross your legs, find the midline of your mat. And switch left knee over the right, crossing out the thighs. Move the hips a little bit to the left. Drop the knees to the right. Your gaze might stay up, it might go over the left arm. Take another deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, come back towards center. Uncross the legs. Find the midline of your mat. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. If you'd like a happy baby, grab the edges of your feet, shins, or thighs, and gently start to rock left and right, just massaging out the low back here. And start to let the movements get slower, get smaller. That idea of doing less, not more. Because doing more does not equate to our worth. Draw your knees into your chest, give yourself a big squeeze. And now if you'd like, lift the head, the shoulders, the upper back, curl up into a little ball. We did so much front body opening. Breathe into the back body. Give yourself a hug. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill up. Exhale and release. Extend your legs long on the mat, setting up for Shavasana. If there's any props you need for Shavasana, slowly grab them. Extend your legs long, rest your arms by your sides with your palms up. Soften or close the eyes. As much as you can, relax the jaw, the throat, the tongue. Relax the chest, relax the belly, the hips, the legs, and the feet. Invite a slow, deep breath in through the nose, filling up the body with air. And exhale out of your mouth, let it go. And for the last few moments of our practice, allow the body to relax everywhere. Let go of any forced, any controlled breath. And bring your attention back to the natural rhythm of your breath here. Start to deepen your breath. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little longer, feel free to stay. Otherwise, bring small movements back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and very slowly roll onto one side of your body. Using your hands to prop yourself up, we'll meet in a seated posture with our eyes closed or the gaze soft. Keeping the length in your spine, the lift in your chest. As you inhale, bring the palms together in front of the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. Surrender towards heart center, to the quiet that can be found within. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing today. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're feeling good after practice, and I'll see you all soon.